We've all been on a deeply and overwhelming, complex, and complicated journey these past 6 months since COVID-19 came into our world. We don't really know how long this journey will last, but I believe we can look at these two stories, Moses' story and Jesus' story, in relationship to this specific journey, and begin to resonate with what it might have been like for them. Jesus' journey was his lifetime. We understand that specifically his ministry was about 3 years. Moses lived in Egypt all his life, left as a young man, and then is called by the voice of the great I Am to return and emancipate the people of Egypt. And what we understand is that is the beginning of a very long journey. But we are going to look at this specific time in their lives. The time when Moses is delivered by God into his true self. When he comes to a place where who Moses is no longer what he thought Moses was. And after his holy experience with the burning bush, Moses removes all his clothing, his sandals, his external self, his egoic self, and starts to live out from the divine place within him. And he knows, even in doubt that remains, even in suffering and consternation, he knows what he has to do. His journey has become clear, and although he will carry all that he has been with him, he will rely on and be present to the I Am that is within him. Jesus wants to explain and help his disciples and his community of faith understand that he has come into this place to change the way life is lived. That his ministry is a whole new way of doing things. That it, like Moses' call, requires the letting go of the external self, the egoic mind, and living out from the divine and true self that is within. In order to comprehend this, he says, you must lose yourself in order to truly find yourself. If you want to see and be in the presence of the holy as I continue to seek and be in, then you must take up the same cross and follow me. Follow me by letting go, giving up all that you have been and all that you have known about what you believe is right, what you think you've been called to do, and enter into a profound and intimate relationship with the true self, the God self. what better way to walk through this time of journeying than to be in that kind of intimate and direct relationship with the sacred within all life, within all of us. How else can we possibly begin to navigate this time if we are not in a relationship with this energy of life, this spirit of all things that embodies us and embodies creation? If we remain separate, how can we make wise decisions for the vulnerable? How can we protect the environment? How can we care deeply for those who suffer if we are not in intimate relationship with the one we call Creator? It is through Moses's and Jesus's examples of how they live out this specific time in their lives that we can mirror how they traversed such difficulties, such complexities to emancipate an enslaved people, to free a conquered people, to lift people out of their darkness, remove their handcuffs from expectation and how they've been treated and lived, and help them find freedom. We do this by first finding the freedom within ourselves, by emancipating ourselves, by removing the handcuffs that have kept us tied to a way of life that is not working for this world. So many prophetic voices have offered us stories and opportunities to change the trajectory of the world. And now, in this acute time of closeness, of relationship, of the sharing of one another's pain, we can dig deep and release that incredible crystal divine presence that lives in everything and allow it to become us. It is a death to self that allows a new birth of truth. We are not alone on this journey to be more connected to the great I Am. There are many of us who are traversing this path, seeking to be in more intimate and direct relationship with the Holy by giving up, giving over, giving in, and becoming one with all that is whole and compassionate, accountable and caring. It does mean a death of self, a death of ego, in order to truly relate to this deep-seated, wondrous thing inside us. It takes work, lots of work, daily work, because we have been convinced of so many things that are separate and in conflict with the wondrous presence of a benevolent God. And those things need to die away so that we can come from a place where the vulnerable are always first. And out from that grows a tree of love and incredibility that will turn the world upside down, Jesus wanted the world to be upside down. Moses wanted the world to be upside down because those in need have to come first. Everything that requires any kind of healing and care and attention has to come first. So we have to get rid of the barrier that prevents us from recognizing that, and that is the external self, the egoic self. We have to live out from the God self. And it is in this time, through this journey, through this virus, through this climate injustice, that we can get a hold of that, because we are being called to that. We are being asked by the earth, by each other, by all life, by the cosmology of the universal God to pay attention, take a leap, and help save everything. You are not alone. You are not alone.